to the Fit Mindset Code, and today's topic is going to be effectively my secrets for how I got abs at 50. As you've seen from some of the images, I got pretty reasonable results with the methods that I used for getting fit for 50, and at 52 I've still got reasonable abs, and this summer I will be cutting down to a body fat percentage which should get me back to some of those images that you saw earlier on, and I'll keep track of those so you can keep following my progress. Okay, so let's get stuck in with the topic. How did I go from this to this at 50? Well, 5 points here which should help you get the abs that you want and the beach body you want for this summer, especially if you're a man in your later years, over 40, or like me, over 50. It becomes a lot harder to achieve what you could have done when you were a teenager or when you're in your early 20s. Everything is against you, time being the main one. So this is my kind of 5 points to help you get that body if you want it when you're at 50. Okay, let's get stuck in. First of all, the six-pack. If we look at anatomy lesson, the six-pack is a misnomer. It is actually, for most people, a 10-pack. It's just 6 are the ones which are visible. And it depends on, one, your genetics and your insertion points of where your abdominals start and finish, to whether you can see all 10 or just 6. And some people, depending again on genetics, have muscle bellies which actually appear to give them a 12-pack, but they're quite rare. Most people, you will only see the 6 because those are the ones which are visible, the ones in the midsection, around your belly button and just up to the underside of your rib cage. But it is actually genetics mean that it should actually be a 10-pack we talk about, and 10-pack abs doesn't have quite the same ring as 6-pack abs, does it? So it's not a 6-pack, it's actually a 10-pack. All right. So why do we have abdominals? Well, again, genetically, you don't get abs, you already have abs. You were born with the abdominal setup that you currently have. That's what you were born with, and your genetic makeup will give you the predisposition to how they're going to be visible and how big they are, and how they actually show when you don't have your shirt on in the summer on the beach. So genetics does play a big part in it, but we all have them. It's not something you don't have, and the only way you can actually get them is to reveal them. Okay, so if we look at the key aspect, number one, which is this one, which is diet. Okay, most people, and I suspect you are included in that group, look at item number 4, which is exercise, and you do planks and you do crunches and you do leg raises and you do all sorts of core stability routines, sit-ups and all those sort of things to try and get abs. But abs, and there's a good adage for where they come from, is abs are made in the kitchen. It is pretty much 80 or 90% diet. Yeah, exercise does play a little bit of a part, but it's supplementary to the diet. You need to reduce your body fat percentage to reveal the abdominal muscles, just like any other muscle. The less body fat you have, the more visible the muscle and the striations of the muscle will be, and the abs are absolutely no different. You cannot get visible abs if your body fat percentage is over something like 15%. Once you get below 10%, you are definitely going to see your abs, and then genetics will decide on how visible they are, how big they are, how wide they are, how big the muscle bellies are. That's down to your genetics. Diet is the only way you can get them, and it's in the kitchen. You need to reduce your caloric intake. Calories in versus calories out, as I've spoken about in a number of other videos, is the only way to reduce body fat. Yes, hormones play a part in that, but again, that is dependent on how your hormone regulates your use of your own body fat, and everybody's different in that regard. So if you just looked at calories in versus calories out, that's going to be the number one weapon in your armory for getting abdominal muscles visible, because you've already got them. You're not getting abs, you're just showing them. Okay, the shortcuts. Okay, so this is the magic. This is where the magic starts. This is the one that everybody asks me, what is the secret to getting abs and how can I get them quickly? There is no magic and there is no shortcut. Shortcuts are a waste of time. If anybody tells you there's a shortcut to getting abs, they are lying. It is bullshit. The only way you can get it is through a sustained period of time being in a caloric deficit and reducing your body fat. Whichever method you find easiest to manage that, that is the best way for you to get abs. Reduce your body fat percentage, and hopefully you will be predisposed to reduce the fat around your midriff at some stage during that process, and at that point, once you have lost the belly fat that you have, which covers your abs, then you will have visible abdominals, and that is the only way. There are no shortcuts, there is no magic pill, okay? Exercise, as I said, will not reveal abs if you have a body fat percentage over about 15%. Definitely over 20% you won't, but around about 15% for most people, they will become visible. At that point, exercise is only going to improve the look of the abs, how strong they are. It's just like any muscle. You are exercising that muscle to make it stronger and make it larger. The more muscle fibers you have, the bigger they will be. So in some respects, actually exercise might actually make it worse for you. One, if you've got body fat in front of it, because it actually extends the belly out even more, so you look slightly larger if you have larger muscle bellies of the abs because you've been working them. And secondly, when you do have visible abs, you will be working the muscle, so they will actually be getting larger, and you'll just make them effectively what they call blocky, so they will just get bigger and more blocky, and the muscle bellies will be larger. So you don't actually need to do any exercise. The images that you saw of me at the beginning, I pretty much did not do any ab exercises at all to look like that. None whatsoever. Didn't do crunches, didn't do sit-ups, didn't do oblique work, didn't do leg raises, didn't do planks. I might have done aspects which improved my abdominal strength as part of the routines I was doing, but I never targeted my abs specifically. I never did an ab day. I did leg day, I did arm day, I did chest day, I did back day, I did upper lower splits, I did push pull, all those sort of things, but I never did ab day. Abs were not an exercise routine which I did as an isolation, okay? They were only ever done as part and parcel of other routines, whether it was to get fitter, whether it's to get stronger, whether it's to get a better core stability for functional movements. But it was the ab strength and the ab conditioning was a byproduct of those exercises. It wasn't what I was targeting. Okay, last point. These are the do's, and these are going to be the don'ts. So don't do exercises if you haven't reduced your body fat percentage, because you're wasting your time. If you just want to target your abs, if you want to make your abdominals stronger and you're not worried about them being visible, then crack on, do as many exercises as you want. They're all good exercises, they're all good for functional movement and for core strength and core stability, but they won't help you get visible abs. The only way you'll get them is through diet. So don't do exercises if you just want to get visible abs, okay? Don't take supplements to try and reduce your body fat. You need to do it through a controlled caloric deficit of whole proper foods over a sustained period of time. Get real foods, good, wholesome, balanced diet, as we've spoken about before in other videos. So don't go for the magic pill of the fat burners, and don't drink alcohol, and don't drink fruit juice. Fruit juice and alcohol have the same effect on your liver. They leave fatty deposits, and that extends the area of your belly around your liver. So your liver is in your midriff here, and then if you have fatty deposits on it from fructose and from taking in alcohol, so beer generally, then you will extend your midriff through those fatty deposits. If you reduce the amount of alcohol or the amount of fruit juice, I would say don't do either at all, but you're in a better position to actually reveal your abs if you have less fatty deposits around your liver. Okay, so those are the big don'ts. All right, so quick recap. How to get abs at 50. Your genetics will tell you whether you've got a 6-pack or a 10-pack. Okay, diet is the #1 weapon in your armory for getting revealable abs. Okay, caloric deficit over a sustained period of time will then reduce your body fat and your body fat percentage, and then the abs that you already have will be revealed. Okay, you cannot get abs, you have them, you just reveal them through diet. Okay, exercise will help to put you into a bigger caloric deficit, but that is not the number one way of actually getting abs. Okay, anybody got any questions, then put them in the comment section below. If you like the video, then please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share, all those sort of things. Another video coming soon, and just remember, it's all in the mindset.